Hello, art students. Today we're going to talk about observational drawing in order to get you started with the information you need to do your candy drawings for the next project. So your learning objectives at the top, you guys are going to demonstrate or show me your knowledge of specific drawing techniques. So then you're going to create a realistic observational drawing. So we're going to try to make it look as realistic as we can, and of course I'm going to help you. Um, and then in your artist statement, I want you to specifically talk about your strengths and weaknesses in the artwork. So you should watch the project overview, and then we're going to do a quick observational drawing worksheet just so you kind of understand the steps. And then I'm going to show you how to draw your candy drawing. So it'll look something like this. I have two student examples here. We will have an example picture to look at when you do your drawing, because observational drawing, you need to be looking at something in order to complete the drawing. And then I want you to shade everything with colored pencil. So I want it to really stand out. We've got lots of different colors here. And then you're going to submit your drawing and artist statement. Okay, so a few terms to note. We've already talked about artistic process and creative guidelines, so I'm just going to have those there for you in case you need to see them again. But we also need to talk about conservation. So that is the best practices for preserving art. So after we complete an artwork, we want to make sure we're doing everything we can to keep it in its best quality. So we don't want to put it somewhere where it's going to get wrinkled or where it's going to get smudged. We want to preserve it. And craftsmanship, which I've mentioned before, is the quality of what a person creates. So you want it to look nice and neat, okay? You want it to have high craftsmanship. Observational drawing is drawing what you see and drawing it as exactly as you see it. So that doesn't mean it has to be perfect, but you want to try your best to get it to look the way it looks when you are viewing it. And then value is the lightness or darkness of something, which we have talked about before, but we're going to be using value in this project too. Okay, so back when we did the Blue Dog project, I talked about how you can break complex forms down into simple shapes. So that's something that you are going to have to do again. So you can see over here on the right, I have this spray bottle drawing, but over it in the red lines, you can see that the bottle itself, if you look at the whole thing, it's a complex shape. There's a lot going on. But if you break it down into these simpler shapes, it looks like it would be a little bit easier to draw if you start with those shapes and then go in and add the detail. And that's what you're going to be doing with this drawing. So here's another example of a candy observational drawing. It looks like somebody had these pieces of candy laid down on a piece of table and just looked at it and tried to draw it as best they can. You can see the shadows underneath the wrappers. Okay, so this is the picture that we're going to be looking at. So if you go back to the second slide, you'll notice that those student examples I showed you, I'm going to go back real quick and show you, they look very similar to this example picture. Okay, so this is the picture that you're going to be looking at whenever you do your drawing, and it's the picture that I'm going to be looking at whenever I make the demo video. So you want to pay close attention to all the shapes you see here. And break it down into simple shapes first, then go in and add all the little details and then add the color.